Okay, your diesel heater. This is brilliant bit of kit. When you turn it on, again, I can't turn it on because I've got no power here. It will wake up and it will go to its default setting, which will be 21 degrees, normal, or 2 bars. You'll see two vertical lines, and the time is infinity. And honestly, that's where you need to leave it. You can adjust it by tapping this button here, and then you'll get 2 little cursors either side, and then you can scroll it to turn the temperature down, and whatever you set it to, then you just tap to confirm. If you then tap it again, it will give you a power. Now you've got 1, 2 or 3 bars. 2 is your best one. 1 is being very economical. Sorry, tilt it down on the phone. 1 is being very economical. 2 is your normal, and I tell customers that's the one you want to use it on. And 3 is a boost because you want to heat up the van a lot faster. So you tap to confirm your power outage, be it 1, 2 or 3, and honestly go for 2 and have done with it. And then it will give you your time. Now you get an infinity symbol, like a number 8 line on its side. That means it will never turn off, and it's done then by the thermostat. So whatever temperature you set it to, the thermostat will measure that and then cut out when it reaches that temperature. The problem with putting it on a timer is if you set it for like 20 minutes, after 20 minutes the system turns off and won't come back on again, and you're sat there thinking, why is it suddenly getting cold in the van? Well, you've put it on a timer. So I always tell customers to leave it on infinity and let, if we just move across, the thermostat here control the temperature. Now if you're about to phone me up and say the van's really hot and it hasn't cut out yet, I'll literally tell you just to turn it down, and that'll be it. When you've had enough, press the off button there, and that will come up with a menu which you can change the time and the date, and that's all you need to do with that, to be perfectly honest. You can, as you go through the settings, find a vent option, and if you use the vent option, all it does is moves the air around here via the fan, and this symbol here will go blue to represent not cold air as such, but just there's no heating. The fan is working with no heating. So generally it will be white when you're not using it, and then it will just turn off after 2 minutes or so. When it's on, this will be a nice bright green, and like I said, the default setting in there will be 21 degrees, 2 bars on infinity, and that's generally all you want to do. Best thing you can do then is maybe turn it down. Okay, so what worries people about this is it's coming off your diesel, which is fantastic, and it is coming off your onboard, your diesel tank. It will never run you dry. The feed for this is slightly higher than your reserve tank of fuel, so there'll always be enough fuel in the van to get you to a garage to top up. It's very economical, so it might use half a pint of fuel through the night as it cuts in and out, so that's great. And the other beauty of this system is you can have it on while you're driving. So if you're doing some winter camping and you know when you get to the campsite it's going to be cold, it's going to be late at night, well, you could already have preheated the back of the van up. Plus, if you've got people in the back with you and they're complaining that it's a little bit cold back here, you can put the heating on for them as well. Now there are some downsides you need to be aware of this, and honestly this is a great bit of kit. The first one is when you first put it on, the initial drain or surge it takes from the leisure battery can cause your lights to flicker. Now if you're hooked up to the mains, it will flicker a little bit for up to 2 minutes and then it settles down. If you're wild camping, then that flickering might go on for about 4 or 5 minutes. It can be a little bit off-putting. I think it's akin to like that little tingling you get in your eyes when you're getting a migraine. So if you find it a little bit off-putting, maybe turn your lights off or put the bare minimum lights on just to get you past that initial surge, and once it levels out you're fine. The worst one is going back to that, if you haven't got enough charge in your leisure battery, it won't fire up because that surge takes it below a cutoff point in the battery. So if you're ever struggling to fire this up and you're wild camping, the best thing you can do is start the van. That will send a charge back to the engine. While the engine's running, fire up this kit and you'll be fine. So the last one and the worst one is you run it dry. So when you run it dry, you've got to go to a garage and get yourself some fuel, and then what you've got to do is bleed it through. And what will happen is you'll turn the system on, it will fail, you might even hear the fan go and does nothing. You turn it off, you'll wait a minute, and then you try again. And again, it will fail. I've got to hold this with two hands, it's too wobbly. And then it will fail, and then you'll try again. You'll turn it off, you'll wait a minute, you'll try again. Turn it off, wait a minute, try again. And you'll have to do this about 4 or 5 times, and then all of a sudden you'll hear this as it starts pumping the fuel through the system, and you'll think to yourself, oh, never let it go that low again. So as a cut-off point, don't use this diesel heater if you are below quarter of a tank, and definitely don't use it if your red warning light has come on to say you're low on fuel. That would just be an absolute nightmare for you. Okay, so that is your diesel heater, fantastic bit of kit. And just to go over it again, you can have it on while you're driving. It's very economical. All right.